Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us today. You are joining our Carney Littlefield and my beautiful wife, Ashley. We are Makers Market, Tennessee. And today's podcast is about something that really feels important in today's world. Something that I think as small business owners, we all should be talking about. The title that I would like to title it is, It Was Never About the Sugar. And it's really about small business owners and small communities supporting each other and where the intent of our lives was originally meant to be. I don't think it was supposed to be mass-produced products or mass-produced anything. I think it was supposed to be communities of talented people doing things for each other. Absolutely. You know, and things have changed in such a short period of time. So today's podcast is about that. We're going to talk about the effects of COVID, effects of what community looks like since COVID, what it was before, something that we like to call the little back to the 80s retro look back. I'm just kidding. We don't call it that. I just said that just now. But I would like to talk about what it looked like in our childhood. You know, what small businesses looked like, because I remember being able to go down the street with a couple of dollars and getting some candies, or really, actually pesos. I was in Mexico, but, you know, being able to go down the street with my cousins and trust that we would be able to go shop without a problem.
Yeah, literally just going by yourselves.
And yeah.
Shop owners would probably know your name,
yep,
you know.
They did, absolutely.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about how, in your opinion, again, as a small business owner yourself, my beautiful, sweet Ashley, what is some of the ways that community has kind of been fractured because of COVID?
So I feel like the whole social distancing thing was obviously a huge part. And, you know, you think back and honestly, I don't know about you guys, but 5 years feels like so long ago.
Yeah.
And it really wasn't. But, you know, the whole 6 feet distancing and, you know, I remember, you know, Texas grocery stores have HEB and us literally showing up and them not letting us in because they were already at max capacity. Do you remember that?
At max capacity, or if you didn't have a mask, or if you didn't have if you had a fever or anything like that.
Right.
I remember getting your temperature at the door.
You know, having to do the whole hand sanitizer, which technically, guys, we should be doing that anyways, but, you know, touching those fun grocery carts. But anyways.
If nothing else, COVID, I think, showed us how dirty some of y'all really are. I mean...
we love y'all.
I mean, in habits.
I
mean, we're not any better, yeah. I mean, when I say y'all, I mean us collectively.
Collectively as a society.
As humans, we tend to be dirtier than we should be.
Yeah. But, yeah, the grocery store was a prime example of, you know, the social distancing was weird. You know, not being able to get in unless, you know, Joe Smith was walking out with his groceries. So I really feel like that put a huge damper on us just being a community. Like, what has happened to that?
Yeah.
Like, I know it's not just us. So, you know, we'd love to get your thoughts in the comments below, but, yeah, I just feel like COVID really changed a lot.
Well, not to mention the number of small businesses that were lost as a result of not being able to survive that time.
Yeah.
You know, let's not forget, everybody, that those businesses were forced to be shut down. They were forced to be closed and have their doors closed to the public, and some of those businesses... A week of being shut down is the difference between being able to stay open and having to shutter their doors forever. And I think that's an important thing that as small business owners that we witnessed, and even some of the small business owners that we worked with, and unfortunately the makers that we're in Austin that we're doing things as a hobby now, no longer maintain those hobbies because of COVID. So, there's an impact that is still far reaching. I think we all will
Very much so.
be studying it for years to come.
Yeah.
But the biggest thing that I think that it created was a sense of fear. I think a problem that I still see with a lot of people wearing masks and everywhere. Not to get political, but we definitely are in a time where people are split in their opinions, and it creates diversity in not a great way. It creates a diversion in that diversity. And I don't mean racial diversity or anything. I just mean a great divide
diversity overall.
Diversity of opinion that isn't a diversity with open discourse. It's a diversity that is shut off. People that don't even want to discuss problems, and whether or not the science is settled on a certain thing, like wearing masks or vaccines or social distancing or whatever. The biggest thing that we all walked away with, I think, is the sense of fear of each other. So,
no more going to the grocery store and just seeing your neighbor, and stopping in the aisles and talking with them and conversing and seeing how, each other's lives, like how people were doing. That was pre-COVID. And now, like, honestly, going somewhere like Costco, where you've got, two sets of families that are just kind of pulled over with their car talking, like, sure, not gonna lie, you guys, like, when they're right in the middle of the aisle, it does irritate me, because it's like, people are trying to get their groceries and stuff, but at the same time, it does warm my heart, because I feel like we're missing that community, and, being able to just stand there and talk with each other. So that's
a good point, actually. It seems like we don't have those third spaces anymore.
No.
People go to work, people go home, and they don't have a place to commune. That unless you want to be religious and go to church, unless you want to pay dues and be a part of a sports team or something, there's less and less open public spaces like libraries that used to exist when we were younger. And that's what I was talking about earlier, is that there's less opportunity for kids today to experience what it means to be in a community. Whereas when I was growing up, and I think the same for you, there were reading clubs at the local library, where we would have either a character come and read a book,
Mm-hmm.
or there was a group of librarians that would dress up and do different reading events. Different sports clubs that were attainable and not expensive. Inflation has made that a huge problem for today's parents with outfits and gear and trips to different places. I mean, it becomes overwhelming. But that's one of those things that I think becoming a neighbor and being neighborly is really all about. And one of the things that we wanted to talk about in this podcast, y'all, because that's where Makers Market Tennessee thrives, is in being a neighbor to each other. Even though I know we're watching this, you're watching this on YouTube or on our website or from your phone or from your computer, or this is not even 2025 anymore. You're watching this next year or 2 years from now. The difference is that we want people to know that they are connected, and we want to connect with them in our local communities here in Tennessee. We're passionate about letting people know that it's not just about them doing it on their own. Because that's how we feel. We want people to know that I'm a web designer. I do SEO. My wife does social media. We are behind Makers Market Tennessee. We are what does the website. We are what does the Instagram. We are what does the Facebook. The marketing, the printouts, the stickers, the T-shirts.
Two-person show.
We do everything.
Yeah.
And I bring that up just because we want to make sure that there's no one who gets defrauded from anyone who's trying to present themselves as a Makers Market Tennessee representative. But as small business owners, that's why it's so near and dear to us that we have a network of people that we can rely on. And makers, y'all are some of the best out there. That is something that I definitely wanted to shout out, is that community comes from people who are naturally interested in each other and interested in the hobbies that they have. So makers, you find out that you end up having a community, even if it's online or if it's through a network of groups like meeting at your local church. That's one of those things that I think we want to bring back. As Makers Market Tennessee, we want to be able to offer a space, if it's online, eventually if we can actually get a indoor space or an exterior craft market space, we want to provide those third spaces that makers can come and express their creativity with their family and friends.
Right.
And where being a neighbor doesn't just mean walking down the street and asking your neighbor for something.
Mm-hmm.
You know, being a neighbor means you can go and talk with someone about your problems, or share a cup of coffee and just ask them how their day is. Today's world is so fast paced, and like you said, people are so busy, and that they just go through the aisles and shop and don't spend time getting to know each other.
Yeah, and going back to the third spaces, that's not to say that, you know, like our amazing local coffee shops aren't doing the job, but even when you walk into those, you know, people are just busy on their laptops, they're busy working, you know, people are still very much working remote, working for themselves. Yeah. So it's not the same as being able to just like sit down and just have a cup of coffee with your friend.
Right. Keep in mind also, coffee shops, I mean, they are a business, so 5-6 groups of 10 people parking for 10 hours a day is not going to work.
It's not ideal. So going back to, you know, our business idea, we have something in mind, but it's a matter of having the funds, and we will get there. But once we have something that's a little bit more attainable, we'll share that with you guys. But it's all about bringing community back, supporting local businesses, artists, crafters, and makers, and things like that. So
things like, you know, things like food trucks. So Ashley and I like to have something we call Food Truck Fridays, where we will go out and look for lunch, look for a new, unique food truck that isn't a chain or anything like that. That is food that we enjoy, or that we can enjoy together on my lunch, and be able to experience something new and unique. That's something we would like to share with you all as well.
Yes.
You know, try a new food truck every week. Try a new restaurant every week. Try a new a new yogurt shop, or pick anything.
Yeah.
A new cookie store, a bakery.
Going back to coffee, okay? Can we just quick segue? Guys, I love y'all, but some of y'all are still going to Starbucks. Like, why?
Yeah, they don't need your money.
You know?
Trust me, they
they're
don't need your money.
y'all.
Go to Seven Brew, go to Dutch Brothers. You know, even more local than that.
Yeah, let's drill down even more.
There are places that
Brass
can
Horn,
enjoy that.
Shelly Social.
Brass Horn Coffee, yes.
You know,
absolutely.
we love Brass Horn. You know, Just Love Coffee. They're amazing too. So, anyways, sorry Starbucks, but y'all have enough money. Anyways, going back.
We want to encourage everyone to start thinking about how you can start offering the sugar or the salt or the butter again. How can you, as a neighbor, show your neighborliness? I know that's not a word, but how can you show people in your neighborhood, in your community, your family, your friends? How can you be the example of someone that's reaching out and letting them know that you're wanting to connect with them?
And it's small things, guys. It's opening the door for people, and if somebody opens the door for you, say thank you. It's just a smile, like, hey, I really like your shirt. Like, these are just small things, you guys. And, you know, sure, we fall short, and we don't always do that when we're out. Sometimes we're laser focused on something, and then we come right back home. But, I mean,
there's always opportunity.
Always an opportunity.
Yes. Always an opportunity.
Yeah.
So, guys, please leave some comments, questions, any concerns, any ideas you have about that. We would love to hear them. Or any shout-outs for local businesses you would like for us to reach out to or interview. This is about us as a community. Makers Market Tennessee is about the makers, making things, making it great, and making it something that's unique. So for each of you who are out there, we thank you so much. My name is R. Carney Littlefield, and again, this is my beautiful wife, Ashley Littlefield, and we are Makers Market Tennessee. We hope you'll like, subscribe, and follow us. We are on Instagram, Facebook, Yelp, Google. all over the place you can find us. Just search for us at www.makersmarkettn.com. That is Makers Market Tennessee. And we'll see you later. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
Bye.
Bye.